In this video, this is going to show you guys how to go about trying to farm your own augments and abilities so you don't need to spend on the Visa phone on the player market. This is to help you guys save money and or make more money. Now, I didn't make this video in the beginning due to the fact that NA or global PSO2 was missing a huge item or two particular items that can actually help you in terms of getting a higher slot number in your weapons and or units drop. Note that even though I give you guys these methods and also start this playlist with a bunch of videos talking about how to go about it, it is still RNG. It is random. There are some fixed ways to get certain abilities. For example, Returner, for example, that one cannot cheat you, but the problem with getting a Returner ability is trying to get abducted and completing the abduction. And getting abducted is a pain in the ass, especially if you don't have a huge tolerance when it comes to running and spamming a bunch of time attacks. However, yes, when it comes to ability farming and stuff, you can make a huge profit off of it because it is a technical thing. Even if you're not interested in doing the fix in itself, you can always sell these pieces to someone else who would need them. And guess what? You can get a good chunk of Meseta out of this. Now, the only problem is, do you have a My Shop 3-day pass, or do you have access to that shop? If you're not familiar with how to go about getting fun points and what you can do with these fun points, upper right corner or in the description. This video is to show you guys how you can read these different quests and figure out what abilities augments drop from these quests. The best way is to go to the quest counter attendance. When you do this, you want to select on that particular quest you want to run. For example, if you're playing on global PSO2 and I want to do Buster Quest, I want to click on that, click on the mode that I'm doing. Let's say I'm doing a bunch of free matches. Click on the fourth option or find the view quest records. You want to click on that, go to the second option, special ability record. It might be special augment record over there. When you do that, it's going to show all these different abilities that drop from this quest. Now, this is just to show you how many times it drops on a weapon and or unit. It's not a guarantee. This is pretty much like a survey of those who had done these quests and how many times it pop up within that certain time frame. When it comes to any triggers that you have, you can do the same thing. You can view the quest records for these triggers. All you need to do is go over here to the quest counter attendant, accept trigger quest. When you do this, before you hit quick start, you want to click on that view quest records, go to the second option, and you can view all the abilities that can drop from this difficulty, and you can do the same thing with the other difficulty as well. There will be a few quests where you cannot view said quest records. A good one would be abduction, because abduction is when the darkers will abduct you when you're doing time attack, and you will not have said access to the camp ship or the terminal or a quest counter attendant. There is another quest type that does not show you a bunch of quest records. However, before I go into this point, if you want to avoid said spoilers for episode 6, even if it's just me showing it briefly, look in the description for the time skip. I give you guys a couple seconds, there will be a warning on the screen right now. So the other quest type that will not show you a bunch of records for the abilities will be divide quests. You will have to figure it out yourself in terms of what it can drop by looking at the units that you might pick up and also some of the bosses that will pop up when you do divide quests. When you go over here and when you click on divide quests, when you look at the information, there's different stages. When you click on this, for the fourth option, instead of saying quest records, it says check divide quest information. This will show you your weekly records. It's going to show you how many points you have acquired on your account for this week. It will also show you the weekly points reward, where if you earn an X amount of points, you will get these rewards. If you want to know more about divide quests, I do have a video talking about it. You might not see it in the upper right hand corner or in the description. It might still be a work in progress, but this is something that you gotta note. Some quests will not have the quest records, and you will need to try to figure out if a certain ability drops here that you cannot view or you cannot see. Note that SAS do not appear on that special ability list. What you will have to do is try to find that weapon in or unit with that certain SAF. The best way to do that is to go to the description and look at that ARC's Visa phone. That will give you a general gist to what item and what weapon and or unit can give you what SAF. The other method is to have the particular weapon and or unit in game, click on it and go to the fourth option, special ability factor confirmation. So with that being said, when it comes to trying to find the specific weapon in our unit with the SAF, instead of going to the special ability tab, you will want to go to the item record tab. So if I go over here and let's say I want to view the quest records and see if a particular item drops over here, instead of going to the second one, go for the first one, which is item record, and you can see that these are the various weapons, and it might show some other things like units and eggs that can drop from this quest. And if I find a particular weapon that I'm looking for, I would want to try to farm for it, pray to the RNG gods, and hope that I can get that weapon to drop, and then tour around with it, get it to plus 35, and then I have my SAF. S-Class special abilities can pop up on that list, however it has to be common enough with certain numbers. I haven't seen an example of it, so I won't show it on the screen. Note that when it comes to these SSAs, they can appear in a couple forms. One of them is the pop item, the add ability items, which you see on the screen. I already made a video talking about it, upper right hand corner or in the description. But other than that, there's other ways, such as it being on a weapon and or unit already. You'll see those examples on the screen right now. The official notes on a quest can give you a hint to what S-Class abilities can drop. For example, if I went over to Global, you can see that there will be details talking about the S-Class abilities. However, it's not going to state all of the S-Class abilities, especially later on when there's going to be a bunch of new quests. It's not going to state all of the S-Class abilities. It will most likely highlight on the new ones, but not all of the S-Class abilities that can drop potentially from that quest. Best way to figure out what S-Class abilities can drop is to look at external sources that can give you said information, or ask around on the official PSO2 Discord. And lastly, when it comes to some abilities, they can't be farmed for. For example, the add ability grand types or some other add ability items. There is one exception which I'll mention at the end of this point, but something like this add ability grand shoot, you will need to get from the AC and or support item scratch. Specifically with these grand types, it's from the AC scratch. But yeah, you cannot farm for this in game. The one exception is if there's an event that promotes some sort of farming and there's a chance for you to win this particular item. Over here in the Japanese PSO2 during our 8th year anniversary, there was an event where you had to compete with the players on the ship, try to get a certain rank, and if you hit a certain rank during the time period, and if you get a bunch of medals or whatever item they want you to get a lot of, you do have a chance to get a grand pop item, a grand add ability item. The problem is you're dealing with, one, a lot of players, and two, you need to farm a lot and for a long time to try to stay up there before the end of the event. That's the only one exception when it comes to you trying to farm for this without buying or going to the AC scratch. Note that even though I say you cannot farm for this, obviously you can buy it off of another player through the Visa phone. If you want to try to get this particular ability, guess what? All you need to do is have the X amount of currency to try to get one off of the marketplace. And that concludes this video. So if you have any questions, comments, concerns, put it down below. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.